Hey there guys, this is Marco, and today I'll be talking to you about the Technica ATH-M50x's at the time of publishing 2019. These are a very well-known pair of headphones in the tech YouTuber community, and I'd like to let you know my thoughts about them, having them for a couple of years, and how they hold up in my repertoire at the time of publishing in 2019. Let's find out. So I know what you're thinking, Marco, why in the year 2019, the time of this publishing and beyond, why would I get a pair of these headphones today, especially since they're wired? What is this, 2010? Yes, I'm very aware of this sad fact. Per the actions of the Apple overlords, who of course know what's best for us and have deemed headphone jacks sin, having a headphone jack on a smartphone has become more of a rarity. So you're sort of forced your hand on using Bluetooth headphones unless you're down to have a dongle all the time. I personally argue that I'm always down to have a headphone jack unless I'm exercising or doing something pretty active, in which case a wire would be very inconvenient. I'm assuming that there's two different types of viewers watching this video. There are creators who are interested in finding a good pair of headphones that just sound very accurate, so that by the time they're making something and releasing it to the world, they heard the same thing, had the same amount of bass, had the same amount of other sounds at the right levels that they heard that their consumers will hear. In other words, a very accurate representation of what's actually being created, which these things have extremely accurate sound. And then there's also the casual listeners who just want a really great sounding pair of headphones. And those people also don't mind having a wire connected to their smartphone all the time. These pair of cans definitely fulfill both of those things. Now let's get right to the big meat of the video. Why did you watch this video? Because you want to know how they sound, right? Okay. These pairs of headphones are the best headphones I've ever had in terms of audio quality. These things sound fantastic. Nobody's lying about that when they say that these sound good. These sound great. And again, the reason for that is because they're accurate. They sound exactly how the artist wants you to hear them. Now, if you get a cheap pair, if you're listening to those, if you're listening to those headphones that came with your iPhone, those, dude, okay, I'll admit they don't sound as bad as I thought they would. I tried them recently. They actually don't sound that bad for being, part of your phone. But no, they don't hold a candle to these. Even to this day, I've had these headphones for at least 2 years, about 2.5 years going. And to this day, when I listen to music on these things, these just sound, they bring about sounds that you haven't heard before when you've heard a song. I guarantee you, if you listen to one of your favorite songs, a song that you've listened to hundreds of times, and you connect these headphones to your phone, you'll be able to just hear things you didn't hear before, which I find always really exciting. I love music, I can't live without it, and when I listen to something that's just so deep, so many layers and so many notes that you just didn't, little details. I mean, shit, if you listen to a guitar, you'll hear the person just like actually picking the strings. It's engrossing, the music. The build quality on these things is also really great. There's a faux leather all around the top part, and so you get to the actual extension parts, then it becomes a hard but very good quality plastic, and that just sort of extends to the entirety of the headphones to get to these, what would you call them, pads, the ear pads that go around your ears. Very comfortable. I'm sure they're faux leather. They're more comfy than the ones without the X at the end. The ATH-M50 is just period. So these are very soft. They go over your ears. So when you obviously put them over your ear, you don't really feel as if your ears are smushed as opposed to like on-ear headphones, which I'm really not a big fan of. Obviously, these not only sound good, they're very comfortable. You won't have a problem wearing these for hours if you're, working on a big project. And these are so durable that really you could just throw these in a bag and not have to worry about it. So whether you're on the road producing or whether you're just like, in school and put them in your backpack, you don't have to worry about them. Now, I will concede and admit something. For more than a couple years, I've been relatively resistant to Bluetooth headphones because I knew that listening to music through Bluetooth just compromises a lot of the audio fidelity that I'm more anal about. I mean, I consider myself an audiophile, not super snobby about it. I'm not gonna give you shit for like your cheap car stereo system, but I love music and I can't live without it. So I love listening to music for what it's supposed to sound like. These things do just that. But I mean, I can't deny Bluetooth is just so convenient. Especially if you're just like walking around the house, or especially if you're working out, which is how I found out that Bluetooth headphones are extremely convenient. They're just sort of a no-brainer in that regard. And if you have a smartphone that doesn't have a 3.5mm headphone jack, you sort of force your hand. I recently got another pair of headphones, Bluetooth headphones, which I just mentioned, the Anker Soundbud Curves. They're athletic headphones that are just, wireless, and you're able to work out with them. They're waterproof, sweatproof, what have you. And they sound extremely great, especially since my phone and those headphones support aptX HD, a different Bluetooth codec that makes sound very comparable to wired sound quality, which is a huge feat and something I very much appreciate. So again, with my concession, if you're just looking for a pair of headphones that are extremely convenient and you don't have to worry about having a wire around you all the time and you want it to sound good with your smartphone, then a good pair of Bluetooth headphones will probably get the job done. However, if you're okay with having wired headphones that, they're not super bulky, they're actually pretty comfortable, and they're quite portable since they, compact like this. And this wire actually comes off of it. It's proprietary. It's very, very good quality. I haven't had any problems in terms of it ripping or anything, so it's really great cord. Then you won't have any problems just lugging this around. But I'm going to bring out some of the cons of these headphones. They're very minor cons, but they're things you have to accept when you buy these things. One, these are not headphones that you use for when you're on a plane. I've used these on a plane on more than a few occasions, and they're really not the best because the noise isolation in regards to, it has passive noise cancellation, which is not active, meaning there's no like actual machine or frequencies being put to counteract loud noises around you. Rather, it's just the actual thing over your ear that's supposed to stop noise. But if you're on a plane or somewhere pretty loud, especially with lower frequencies that are just able to travel through the ear cups, then these things are just not loud enough. Every time when I use these on a plane, I have to raise the volume almost all the way. And even then, I don't really hear that much bass. And I'm not saying that these don't have bass, because they do. It's just that since it's not super boosted bass like you'd find on a pair of Beats headphones, the bass is gonna be very drowned out when you're on a plane with very loud, low frequencies all the time. Sort of similar how the bass in your car probably doesn't communicate itself as well when you're on the highway going 70 miles an hour, and there's just a lot of low frequencies drowning that out. So that's just how physics works at that point. So yeah, like I said, don't get these for loud situations such as a plane, or perhaps if you live in a loud city like New York, these probably won't be as great for you in regards to being in a loud place. But there's something else you have to accept about these, is that there's no mic that's integrated into here. I'll say I was the guinea pig for you guys. I've tried 2 or 3 different types of aftermarket wires for these, and they just suck, dude. They're not nearly as thick. The sound isn't nearly as like straight to the point and direct with these things. They're just not as loud, and the mic sucks on them anyway. So like, it's just not worth paying $15 from China. That's typically how they come. So no mic and no use in a loud situation. That being said, these are still amazing headphones for like a great price. So here's the verdict. If you're looking for a pair of headphones to just listen while you're traveling, or just around your school, what have you, and you're not really in a loud area, you're not planning to use these in a loud situation such as an airplane, these are really great for that. But they're not as convenient as Bluetooth, because come on, you have a wire that's connected to them. They're extremely accurate. They sound amazing. They still hold that kind of use in strong regard. But these are still, in my opinion, the best headphones for creators, for people who are using these to know exactly what their project's gonna sound like. And I mean, come on, don't use Bluetooth headphones that are artificially different in terms of their sound signature just because they're convenient. When you're creating something that's gonna be out there for years, something that's gonna be a reflection of what you're trying to put out there. Trying to be convenient for a couple hours while you're making your stuff is not worth you possibly messing up what you were trying to do in the first place. For casual audiophiles who just want some good sound stuff out of their smartphones, get these. If you want to make something worthwhile and know exactly how it's gonna sound, get these. These are still gonna last you years. They're very affordable for what they're giving you, and I can't recommend them more. So that's my video, guys. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. And please let me know how you feel about it. Constructive criticism, like it, don't like it, comment, subscribe. Any one of those helps. Thanks, guys. Catch you in the next one.